Hey guys, and welcome to the dating game with Troy Francis. What happens when you ignore a woman? Okay, so look, a big piece of advice that often gets put around is that if somebody pulls back from you, so say you're talking to her via text or you've been dating or whatever, and then she kind of like pulls back, and the texts become less frequent, the messages become less frequent, she seems to be pulling away, then you should go cold on her. And look, that's not bad advice. It's advice that I've given myself. It's advice I think I gave in a video I made very, very recently. So look, I'm not denying that. However, as with all of these things, there is nuance to this, okay? And in this case, the nuance is that people think that if I do a certain technique, if I do a certain thing, if I commit a certain action in the dating marketplace, then it's going to have a definite effect. Okay. And the way that this manifests most frequently is that guys will get in contact with me. They'll send an email or a DM and they'll say, hey, listen, I was talking to this girl and it was all going great. And then she went radio silence and I never heard from her, or I haven't heard from her for a week. What do I do? What do I do basically to get her back? What do I do to bring her around? Should I ignore her? And is that going to be the answer? Okay. And the difficulty is this: the way that they're coming at it, the frame that they're coming at it from is completely wrong, because what they what they're really saying is, if I do this thing, which is I start ignoring her, is that going to cause her to do this other thing, which is to suddenly become interested in me again and come back? And that frame, as I say, is fundamentally wrong. And the other thing is, I don't know the answer to that because I'm not a mind reader. Okay. I don't know what's going on in her head. I don't know why she's chosen to pull away. So I can't say for definite if it will work anyway. But more importantly than that, if you choose to distance yourself from somebody, you should do that because that's what you want to do. You shouldn't do that with the hope of a certain outcome happening. And here's the subtlety, right? This is where this thinking gets untangled, okay? The reason guys are asking these questions, the reason guys will send very long emails explaining this, whole situation they've had with this girl and how this happened and then that happened and blah, 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 is because they're too hung up on that one particular woman, okay? They're too hung up on that specific situation. They want to make something happen with that particular woman, that specific girl, okay? And so they overthink it, they overanalyze it, they try and strategize it. They stay up all night figuring out, okay, do I do this or do I do that? Or what? Maybe I send her a one-line email, or do I like one of her posts, or do I not like her post, or do I follow her, or do I unfollow her? And they'll try and think of all these ways in order to get that specific woman. And the point of learning the skill set of dating has always been actually not to get that specific woman, okay, whoever she is, because there are too many variables at play, right? We don't know the circumstances of her life. We don't know her proclivities, the kind of guy she's into, her dating history, whether her ex-boyfriends come back into the picture. We don't know anything about that, okay? There are too many unknowns at work for us to say with any definiteness, okay, if you do these things, if you do X, Y, and Z, you can definitely get that girl, okay? And anybody who does say that or offers you training so that you can do that is quite frankly a charlatan, and they're just after taking money from you, because it's just not possible, okay? Not that it's not possible or you would never get with that girl again, but it's just not possible to say with certainty that you can make another human being do something just based on your own behavior, because they have their own stuff going on. A lot of it you're not aware of, okay? So, yes, if somebody pulls away from you and they stop communicating frequently and it feels like you're kind of losing them, or the bond is being stretched and you're losing your grip on the situation, it does make sense to also distance yourself as well. And you could say to start ignoring her, or whatever, or at least stop messaging her, pull away, whatever. But you should do that not with the view of right, okay, so how long am I going to do this for? And then when's she going to start liking me again? And when's she going to get back in touch? Or when are we going to get back together? You should do it from the point of view of, okay, I'm going to disengage and I'm going to get on with the rest of my life. And, you know, she can do what she wants to do. You have to have a degree of Zen like composure about this kind of thing. Okay. Because women are going to do what women are going to do. All right. And you can't control another person. Okay. You can't control her behavior. You can't control what she thinks of you. I mean, there are things you can do to make her think more favorably, but those probably, depending on the circumstances, you should have done earlier. It may now be too late. Okay. It may now be too late for you to really pull back whatever was there before. You may have fucked up already, but you can't control, you know, that's happened. Okay. That's done. So now it's a question of like, okay, I'm going to pull back. I'm going to stop messaging her. I'm not going to look at her social feeds. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. She can get on with it. But it's not about having that expectation of, oh, but I'm going to keep looking at my watch. And then, you know, so when is it she's going to come back? When is it we're going to see each other again? Forget about it. Forget about it. Right? You should assume, you should almost make the assumption in your mind, she's gone. That's it. Okay. If she then reappears, okay, if she then sort of hits you up again or reignites the conversation with you or comes back into your life, great. Well, that's a bonus, and you can decide at that point what you want to do about that. But the onus should always be on you and on your life. And the problem is that too many guys, on the one hand, they don't have enough options in dating anyway. So they get super fixated on one particular woman, okay? And then it becomes the sole focus of everything. It becomes so important um, that they start to kind of mess up and they start to, you know, just overinvest. Okay. And secondly, they don't have enough going on outside of the romantic field. Okay. They don't have a mission, as we like to say. You know, they don't have anything to work on. They don't have meaningful work. They don't have goals in life that they're pursuing. I mean, if you were super focused on building a multi-billion-dollar company or sending rockets to Mars or doing you know, the Elon Musk thing, then would you really be obsessing over whether this girl's texted you or not? I mean, probably not, right? So the fact that it's become such a big issue for you is problematic in itself, and of course, that's then going to communicate itself to her. Um, so yes, the ignoring thing, the stepping back, the no contact thing, depending on what's happened, is a decent strategy because otherwise you're just going to make yourself look needy. You're going to make yourself look like, you know, you've got nothing else going on. You're too desperate for her attention. You're clingy. It's probably going to put her off even more than before. Okay, fine, we get that, but ultimately, it's why you do these things that is so important. Okay, and I try to stress that in all these videos that the intention behind why you do things is significant, not only for you, for your mental fortitude, because in the back of your head, you are also assessing yourself and you're assessing yourself on whether you're being a bit of a pussy or if you're being, you know, a strong guy who's acting on principle. So that's one thing. And also, she's going to somewhat pick up on it as well. Okay. So the reason that you want to be doing it is like, okay, well, you know, I had a few dates with this girl. We had a great time. And now she's just pulled away. And that's kind of a bit disrespectful for her to do that without even really giving me a reason or communicating anything. So that's not behavior I particularly want in my life. It doesn't seem that this is the kind of person that really is going to benefit me spending time with. So, you know, fine. What I'm going to do is pull back as well. I'm not necessarily going to block her. I'm not going to like, you know, I'm not going to go nuclear. I'm not going to send her some long ass message, you know, complaining about what she's done. I'm just going to, you know, back off. I'm going to kind of ignore her social media posts or whatever. I'm not going to engage. But it shouldn't be this expectation of like, and then X is going to happen. And then because of that, she's gonna realize, oh my God, what have I lost? I've lost this wonderful guy. And then she's gonna come back. That's not how you want to see it. How you want to see it is you're doing it for you. And then you go out and you live the rest of your life. Okay. You go out and you do stuff that you're actually passionate about fucking doing. Okay. And so many guys get this wrong. And this is why, right? teach social skills. We teach cold approach, right, which is going out and having conversations with people that you haven't met before, and through that, meeting new women, bringing women that you haven't met before into your life. Obviously, there's the dating apps as well. You might want to use those. There are social events. There are things like classes and salsa classes and stuff like that. But the simple ability to walk up to somebody that you've never met before in real life, whether it's in a coffee shop or a bar or a nightclub or a party or whatever it is, and start a conversation, and from that take a phone number and then maybe arrange a date later, right? The simple ability to do that, which it seems like 95% of men just aren't able to do anymore, will ensure that you have, if you're doing it consistently, a stream of new people coming into your life, new contacts coming into your life. Okay. So you're not going to be stuck sitting there thinking, oh, what about Sally? She hasn't texted me for 2 weeks. What am I going to do? Boo hoo. Okay. It's going to be like, okay, well, that's a shame. She seemed cool. Maybe she wasn't as cool as she first appeared, but it doesn't matter because, I met Mary and we're going to meet up for cocktails next week anyway. So whatever. Okay. That's really where you want to be with this stuff. Right. And so again, not getting too wound up about the individual woman. Okay. It's not about that. It's about, is your skill set overall improving? Okay. Are you becoming more social? Are you becoming somebody who is more magnetic? Are you becoming somebody who is better able to bring new women into your orbit, into your vicinity? And if the answer to that is yes, then you're moving in the right direction. And as I say, I mean, sometimes you're not going to win them all. Okay. There are going to be some women who just, for whatever reason, she's not into you. Maybe somebody else slides into the DMs, an ex turns up, or whatever it is. Okay. And that's fine. That's fine. But don't get hung up on it, and don't do things manipulatively with the hope of trying to influence somebody's behavior. Okay. Because A, it probably won't work. And B, you're going to kind of feel shitty about yourself because you know that you're doing it for that reason. And C, it's just much better as a human being to have, instead of doing that, to work on yourself and create options for yourself. That's really where you want to be. We don't want to be too dependent on people, particularly people that we've only just met. I mean, yes, if you've been married for 20 years, that's a different story. But if we're talking about some, I've had clients who've told me about, they met a woman on a dating app and they've been dating for 2 months or so, or 6 weeks or something, and then she goes cold and the guy's distraught. And it's like, I mean, you don't even know each other after. Like, what are you talking about? It's not even a fucking thing by that point. So just be very mindful of that. Think about why you're doing things, okay? And try to come at it from a healthy, masculine angle, all right? You're not doing things to try to make somebody feel a certain way about yourself. You're doing things because they serve you, okay? And that ultimately is going to serve you better, and it's probably going to help you more in the long run. Anyway, I hope that helped. I hope you found the video interesting. Please do subscribe to the channel. Give me a like. Write a comment below. Let me know other stuff that you would like me to talk about on the channel. And yeah, thanks for all the support so far. It's very much appreciated. I'll see you guys again in the next video. Bye-bye.